Alright, today we got Archaon and the boys. Archaon's lore spell is going to be Demonic Speed. We got Sorcerer Lord in the back. He's the general. He's got Arch-sorcerer, so he knows all the spells in the lore. His lore spell I chose is going to be Levitate. And he has the Gryph-feather charm for 5-up ward. And the aspect of the champion fueled by Ghurish Rage. So on a 3-up, come back with D3 wounds when he dies. Soulscream Bridge here, 2 units of 5 Nurgle Knights. This one here with the gold has the Eroding icon, so -1 to the rent going into him. And our big unit of the Chaos Chosen, this banner with the mark of Khorne on it, is going to be the Banner of Khorne, Banner of Rage, for +1 to wounds all the time. So we'll see what we can get our Chosen into this time.
Hello, today we've got Ogor Mawtribes, Boulderhead. We've got our grand strategy of Take What's Theirs, Triumph the Bloodthirsty. We'll be at 1980 points. Our general is going to be the Frost Lord on Stonehorn with the flag there on the left. He's going to have the command trait for Touched by the Everwinter. That's going to give him a prayer. We took Keening Gale. He's got the mount trait for Rockmane Eldar for -1/2 wound for melee attack for attacks targeting him. And in Boulderhead, we're going to get an extra 2 wounds across the board for all the monsters. Got our second Frost Lord on Stonehorn there on the right with the orange pelt. He's got the Metal Cruncher mount trait. Huskguard on Thunder Tusk. It's going to be in the center there. He's going to have the Blood Vulture kitted out. The mount trait for Rime Frost Hide for -1 to hit, and the Pulverizing Hailstorm as his prayer. Got our Butcher down there slogging it on foot, the only guy without a mount. He'll be wielding a cleaver. The artifact for Tusk Helm for some mortals on the charge. Spell for Molten Entrails for extra damage on the mount. Weapons. Aspect of the champion, he's going to be having Tunnel Master. We got our Thunder Tusk Beast Rider unit over here. They're going to have a Blood Vulture. And we got 2 units of Mournfang. 1 with Gargant Hackers and 1 with the clubs. We'll be taking on the Slaves of Darkness today. Alright, today we're going to be playing only the Worthy. We've got ourselves deployed. Ogor Mawtribes kind of lining up here, screening off with some less important units. And
Slaves over here. Archaon, Nurgle Knights screening out. Chosen over here. I am host of the Everchosen, so 3 battle lines in the front. I was 1 drop. Both 1980 points, so neither of us getting the triumph. And I'm giving him first turn.
alright, going to first turn, Ogor Mawtribes. Okay, end of turn 1. For the Ogor Mawtribes, we took Desecrate their lands on this large central piece of terrain. The slaves were outside of 3 inches. We just towed in a little bit more with this Mournfang unit right here. We got a Bless off on them. We moved this Mournfang unit in to get 1 guy on that objective for the scoring of 1, 2, and more. Launched 2 Blood Vultures over to his Sorcerer Lord and did 2 mortal wounds onto him. And gonna see what happens on turn 1 of Slaves, scoring 5 points.
Alright, end of Slaves to Darkness turn 1. Basically just moved everything up, failed some charges over here, had a redeploy over there that made it a little harder. These guys ran. The plan was cast the bridge if possible, otherwise auto 6 front him up onto the objective. But it turned out the objective was too far for him to run onto, so he was unable to roll on the Eye of the Gods more than once. He did roll on it once, but got just +1 to charge, even with Pledge of Dark Gods, hero action, for 3d6, take 1 die out, and Undivided. Wasn't able to get anything I really wanted. So he's now just hugging Arcane Terrain. Archaon's hugging Arcane Terrain. Hoping for a double turn, that'd be really nice right now. And other than that, just sitting on the objective, score 1, 2 more, and 2 for battle tactic, which was desecrate their lands on the terrain feature in the middle, just like Ogre's was, going into turn 2 roll off.
Yep, Ogre's got the dispel on the bridge too.
Yes, Ogre's
so it's 6,
5 to 6.
5. I think the Ogres are going to take it.
Makes sense.
Into the shooting phase for Ogres, we took gaining momentum and picked this unit right here of Knights that was 5. We did some mortal wounds from our Blood Vultures, from our Prayers, and a lot of 5-up hordes were saved. The Frost Wreath Ice damage from both of them, all that was saved. 5 damage on 5-ups. And we've got Finest Hour on our General, and we're going to attempt to go on in and see what kind of damage we can do. Okay, end of the charge phase for the Ogres. We made it in with all 4 of our big guys here. We did our monstrous rampages. We flew over with the Stonehorn Unstoppable Charge over to here, did a couple mortals on that. Hope is to possibly pile in with him away and then get the other guy into Archaon. We did a strike class with the Thunder Tusk Monstrous Rampage on the last Knight unit there. We roared this 5-man Knight unit that's a little wounded. And we're going to see about what we can do in the combat phase there. Archaon did a Titanic duel on the flag-wielding Stonehorn there. End of Ogor Mawtribes turn 2. We got into the combat and we wiped the Knights. It took us some fighting there. Our Frost Lord over here took a lot of wounds. He ended up with 8 on him. He took a lot from reflected mortal wounds back on from Archaon. We took gaining momentum and we did not control more at the end of the turn. So while we did destroy our picked unit, we did not end up with more on the control because that objective over there. So we're going to be scoring 2 points for the turn, and that's going to put us at 7 points going into the turn 2 for slaves.
All right. This is end of the movement and shooting phase for Slaves to Darkness. About to go to charge. Battle tactic was lust for power, so I had to roll on the Eye of the Gods with him, who was my only option for it. Did succeed that with Chaotic Conduit, rolling a 10, giving him a 5-up ward, which should help, hoping for an extra cast, but that's pretty good. He cast Mystic Shield on himself, and he also casts the Soulscream Bridge, allowing the Chosen to teleport over there. He ran 6 inches extra up, hiding behind the bridge, hoping to screen out the Mornfang that are going to try and steal it. Over here, we're probably just going to pile in away from this guy and hope for a double, though I might pile in into him, hope to kill this guy, and just hope he doesn't take that much damage from him, which I'm not really feeling that much, but I'd rather not get charged by that many things. And then the Chosen over there, we're banking on an 8-inch charge with their drum for +1. I did just remember to roll on the Eye of the Gods for them. They got the ability to heal D3 wounds to themselves, which happens at the start of the game, so it has no effect. So, nothing there. Yeah, about to move into charge phase. We'll see what happens. Alright, end of Slaves to Darkness, turn 2. Completed Lust for Power here for 2 points. Held this objective still. Lost this objective. Wasn't able to take that one because Stonehorn piled in onto it, which I kind of saw coming. Was kind of hoping to kill this guy so I would keep my objective, but that didn't end up happening. We're both just tanks. So I'm scoring 3 points for the turn. These guys killed his footy hero and the 2 Mornfang, and kept the other Frost Lord from hitting Archaon. Archaon's up to 14 wounds now from 10 he was at last turn. And we'll be going into roll off 8 to, what's your score?
8 to 7.
7? Alright.
I've got a 2 and you've got a 5.
Alright, we'll take the double turn.
Alright, double turn for slaves going into turn 3.
End of Slaves to Darkness, turn 3. Finest Hour Archaon was able to kill the Frost Lord General over here. Ran the Sorcerer Lord onto this objective to take it, rolled on the Eye of the Gods, got another +1 to charge. Now he's +2 to charge. Charged these guys in over here. After a pretty bad save roll, the Frost Lord was going to take 16 damage, and then after the ward rolls, he only took 5 on 5 up wards, so swung both ways there. Still 3 chosen left. He's within 3 inches, so I'm not going to take any charges from anyone but this guy and the Morphangs. So we'll be good on that. Archaon's up to 15 wounds now. And we'll be going into the Beast turn 3. Bottom of it, I score 1 for 1 that I took. 1 for 2 over here, and 2 for my battle tactic of this one's mine. Killing him, up to 12 points to 7.
That's right. Okay, Ogor Mawtribes, bottom of turn 3. We took our battle tactic for eye for an eye. Maybe we can kill these chosen. We put all of our prayers and our blood vultures and our pulverizing hailstorms into them, and we got them down to 2 guys. One of them has a wound on him. We finest houred our Husk Guard. We moved our Beast Riders over here, got an 8-inch charge. Did a couple mortals. How many mortals into Archaon?
5 into Archaon.
5. We were hoping that we could get within 1 inch of the Lord there on foot and take him out. But if we kill him in combat and survive Archaon somehow, we might be able to take the objective. The Mournfang ran over here, took this objective. So we're fixing to go into combat phase. See if we can kill 2 chosen. Okay, end of Ogre's turn 3, bottom of 3. We took eye for an eye for our battle tactic. We did indeed kill the chosen with Metal Cruncher from the Frost Lord here. We did finest hour our Husk Guard, which didn't end up being for much use. We did charge around the Beast Riders, tried to get into the Lord there. We only did 2 wounds to him. As we know, they do slap like wet paper towels, but somehow with all out defense and -1 to hit from their skin, or natural -1 to hit, they only took 4 wounds from Archaon's full barrage. They just were rolling 5-ups like nobody's business. I don't understand it. But we're going to call them Humphrey and Beauregard, unless anybody can pick a better name. So that's going to give us 1 for 1, 1 for 2, and 1 for more. And our battle tactic, that's going to put us from 7 to 13. 13 to 8, going into roll off for turn 4. I got a 6, and he got a 5. Going to be going into Ogre's turn 4. Okay, here we are, Ogre's turn 4. After winning the roll off, we decided to go for the battle tactic to have all the ogres on the battlefield eating, which means within 3 inches of an enemy unit. We've got everybody outside of 3-inch charges, and we did a couple mortal wounds to Archaon with some blood vultures and our pulverizing hailstorm, and a couple mortal wounds to the Lord on foot there. Got 1 reflected back into the Thunder Tusk Beast Riders. Fixing to go into the charge phase. Did our heroic recovery for 1 wound on the Frost Lord. Alright, end of Ogre's turn 4. We're calling it here. The Ogres came in and they crunched the metal off of Archaon. Did Metal Cruncher to end Archaon there. And then the Sorc Lord did a couple more damage to the Thunder Tusk Beast Riders. And the Mournfang finished him off. Their first combat of the game. So we kind of scored it out from there. We could score the battle tactic for savoring the taste. Have all ogre units be hungry at the end of the turn, outside of 3 of all enemy units. Kind of a gimme, but this is a situation you would take it. And then our battle tactic was take what's theirs. So our final total score would be 26 to 12. What you think of this matchup, the army that you played, list, anything?
I think the matchup was cool. I'm not a huge fan of Archaon, especially after this. He doesn't seem to do what I want him to do, and I don't know what else to expect him to do. But Nurgle Knights are nice. They're really tanky, but not against 4 models in Ogor Mawtribes full Stonehorn Thundertusk build. I don't think really anything can tank that. Archaon is a tank, but he didn't dish out as much damage as I was hoping. Soulscream Bridge was cool. I love the Sorcerer Lord. I like Kabbalist more than Host of the Everchosen just because 5-up rally is good, but especially with the new rally rules where you can only return, I can only return up to 3 chosen with it. So, like maybe big unit of 15, if you lose a bunch of them, you can get 3 back every turn, but with the 10-man unit, it's going to be harder. The Knights also, you can bring back 3 of the Knights still, so I don't know. I prefer Kabbalist. Making everything a caster and going to turn everything into a Demon Prince makes that easier. Mess up a little on deployment, was like an inch and a half from Arcane, so I wasn't able to get anything there. Also messed up getting an extra Eye of the Gods roll with the Sorcerer Lord at the beginning of the game. But other than that, the just trying to kill what I could, trying to take out some of the large damage output. Got 1 Frost Lord, but other than that, wasn't really able to kill much that would do damage to me.
There was a lot of -1 to wounds going back and forth with the mount trait that I had on a Frost Lord, and you were -1 to wounds, and then -1 Ren were really making it a slog fest there for a good while. I got 1 double a little earlier on, and you got 1 back. Yeah, it was pretty back and forth, especially when the Chosen came in through the back with the bridge. That was pretty scary. But yep, all in all, an interesting game. First, taking Boulderhead out again. Monster trucks. Just remember the ABCs. Always be charging. Live and die by it.
Remember your Ensorcelled banners. Didn't end up using that for the Chosen. So remember to use those.